Access granted. Welcome, High Chief. Track file selected. File 0579. Vank Mirren case files. Number 2. Listen before proceeding. Part 2. Please enter requisite passcode. Access granted. Prepare for retinal scan. Access granted. Playing track. May the hand guide you. So apparently I'm not supposed to immediately jump into a case description / emotional rant / cookie eating showcase. Up top gave me an actual manual with more stuff that I'm supposed to cover in the primer. Would have been useful yesterday. So I guess this will just be a little companion piece to the first one. Maybe I'll splice them together or something, who knows. Well, I know. I know that I'm too lazy to do that, so I'll probably just pack like a part 2 onto this track so you know to listen to this one after that one before you start jumping around on me. Anyways, without further ado, It is currently 0900 hours. I know, crazy, but they gave me this thing like 20 minutes ago, and I wanted to get on this before I forgot. Sorry. It's currently 900 hours on Vingor 19th, 1984, post-salvation. As before, this is Vank Mirren, currently working in Sector 6 of the Glorious Cube, mid-zone, serving the people of the Cube under the sovereign exorcists, ensuring night and day that the citizens of humankind's last bastion are kept safe from the supernatural beings that scour the land that was. In this track, I will be going over the typical tools that you're going to be using on the job, and it's not just the stuff that you use for rituals. That's part of it, sure, but there's a lot more to this profession than actually dealing with extraplanar horrors trying to breach our fair city. This right here, right, no audio. Right, Morning Calf hasn't set in yet. I suppose, this book here, Sovereign Exorcist's Guide to Anomalies. This thing is your most lethal weapon. Forget whatever fancy rune stones, conduits, scrolls, or knives the department gives you. If you don't have this, you're dead. Let me repeat that. From personal experience, if you do not have this book, you will die. You don't want to leave it in stock form either. You got to make sure that this thing is like bookmarked in whatever way is easiest for you. Mine, looks like the end of a morning star. There's so many little things of paper sticking out of it, all color-coded, of course. But yeah, if you're taking this job seriously, which I hope you are, you gotta have this thing basically chained to you. The Sovereign Exorcist's Guide, or the SEG, as we call it in the department, is pretty much every bit of info you need to tackle any situation that's been encountered. It even has this neat little spreadsheet that you can find on page 5. Here it is. That really helped me when I was started just a few years back. If we get a call and somehow we can't identify the anomaly over the pager, or for some reason they don't send a vet to deal with it who actually kind of knows what they're doing, you can apply the nature of the problem to this spreadsheet, and it will direct you right to the page with the ritual to deal with it. It's super useful. Okay, here we go. This right here is the next thing you're going to be using, most next to the seg. This is an anathema crystal. Pretty obvious, newsflash. Most of the things you're going to be going up against are pretty magical in nature. These guys shut that stuff down. You gotta just let them be, let them still. Or they're just like magical glowing rocks. Yeah, so typically you're going to be using a bunch of these guys at once. They're sort of like the synth bread and synth butter of most of your exorcisms, especially of stationary anomalies. Usually you're placing these things around something that you can do your work without it like spreading any further. They also help when you're like trying to extract something into. Where is it? Bollocks. 1 second. Listen, I just need it for the log. Isn't that audio? Why do you need to hold it? Listen, I'll give it back in like a week. It won't matter in a week. You just get one from the equipment cage. That's like 2 floors down, and I know you have one. The tape is running right now. Fine. But you're giving it back to me in like 5 minutes. I know. So we might have to go on a bit of a trip, or I'll just go on one after. It doesn't matter. I mean, the equipment cage is also like a tool of the trade, I guess. But yeah, this right here is a sealing vial. Most of the stuff we're exercising is going to be into one of these, whether that goes into either an incinerator or a kiln, depending on whether the feds want it or not. Usually for fuel. Yeah. But yeah, so for a typical ritual, you're going to be placing these crystals around the vial, which is under usually whatever anomaly you're dealing with. Usually you're going to use some sort of... Where in the hand is my chalk? I swear it was right next to the vial I broke 2 seconds ago. Shit. So, yeah, I was talking about stationary targets. I guess we're having a crash course on moving ones. Right when I hit my stride, it's always pixies. Why is it always pixies? Right when I hit my stride, it's always pixies. Why is it always pixies? I don't know, but it is. Damn it. Hold still. No, don't touch that. So, what we're dealing here is a mobile target, pixie, and I'm sure as you've heard, that's what conduits are for. Super versatile things. All shapes, sizes. I mean, let's be honest, it's what you came here for. Badass looking blaster wand. I'll tell you what, it's more of a pain in the ass. Okay, I don't have much time. So, I'll just go over this as we go. Where is it? Here we go. Where is it? Pixie Ritual. Here we go. Dual hexagrams. That thing, little bugger, was a pixie. Mostly harmless, as long as you don't have short temper. In general, moving targets, those are going to require conduit to deal with. They have a bunch of settings and modes, all that garbage. I mean, just between you and me, most of them are useless. You're only really going to be using the disintegrate or stasis functions like I was doing. Operation's pretty simple. They teach you in boot camp if you haven't been already. But honestly, it's kind of a bit of a hassle to do it the way they do, at least for me. You know, they're telling you to, like, feel your righteousness and fury and channel it into your conduit. I mean, I guess that works for some people, the dimmer of us. Yeah, mostly listening to the whole channeling your emotions thing just amplify the feelings that you're like feeling at the time. It works for me anyways, you know, how I constantly want to sit down and cry. But, I mean, you can get down on yourself. You don't want to hear me talk about how much I hate this place again. There we are. The only good thing about Pixie is that their exorcisms are super fast. So we get a hefty buck for turning him into the energy division. So it turns out all that mischievousness makes for some pretty great fuel sources for the replicator farms, which is good for my synth bread addiction. I wonder how much Pixie actually goes into synth bread. I'm getting off topic. So since that happened, we can do a little bit of a recap. So theoretically, if that happened in a place that was not my office, and that I didn't break its previous file, and we entered a theoretical house, identified this problem, a pixie, flipped through our handy-dandy seg to find the appropriate ritual, subdued with a good old shot from the conduit, and followed the instructions to the letter. Generally, that is what a day in the life for us usually looks like. Armor here says I was supposed to cover some more stuff, but honestly, I have never used any of this stuff before in my entire life. Most of it could be pretty niche, and the seg should tell you if you need anything extra for like an exorcism or something.
Hey, Vank, I got a call from floor 57. I'm gonna need that vial, like, now.
I almost forgot about the other half of this job. Having to talk to other people in the department.
Hey, are you still doing in there?
And unfortunately, I have no advice or tools on how to do that successfully. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get verbally assaulted by my best friend coworker, Ezekiel. Autoscriptor, I don't think anyone wants to hear that. End the tape. Track over. Please eject. Thanks for listening to Exorcist's Case Files. Vank Mirren is portrayed by Franklin Kent. Ezekiel is also portrayed by Franklin Kent. Exorcist Case Files is written and edited by Franklin Kent. Thanks for listening.